How many fingers am I holding up? Uh, okay. So I have no idea if this is working. I've test run some other videos. I'm using Debbie's computer and not my laptop. I have no idea why her laptop would work better than mine. I'm the one with the souped up laptop. She's got like a Chromebook. So I don't know. Nobody's in the chat. Hmm. Uh, Notification just went out. In fairness, oh, look at that. Been flipping. Can you hear me? How's the video, audio? All right, awesome. I'm testing out live streaming, and I really didn't think it would work, but I changed laptops and okay. Yeah, is it lagging? I wonder. Anyway, we sell a little bit of everything. We sell a lot of men's clothing. We do video games, electronics. Um, okay. We live out in the boondocks, out in the country, so I don't know. Uh, we sell video games, electronics. Um, we do some retail arbitrage, uh, mainly from just a couple of select places that we can kind of grab things. Like, for example, if we can go in this one place we've got, they occasionally have like sealed Sony VHS tapes randomly, and they're usually like on clearance. So, oh yeah, okay, the Tennessee mountains. That's awesome. So, how cold is it there right now? What's your elevation? Been flipping hard goods is in the chat. Like we're 78 degrees here with like 94% humidity. We're in East Texas. So anyway, there's a there's a delay from my understanding. Oh, okay. So 1800 1800 foot. So is it are you guys what 4, 5, 6 degrees cooler probably than people down below? I would guess. I lived in Wyoming as a kid for a little while, so oh yeah, so you've got brutal humidity too. What kind of things? What kind of? I know it says hard goods. What kind of hard goods do you try to resell? And sorry guys, there's a little bit. Like I said, there's a little bit of delay, so I'm like reading the chat. Anything I can look up comps on. Okay, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. I made a video the other day, and it was a what sold video, and I went on a little bit of a rant, and I kind of felt bad about it after the fact, but um, And you know what's funny about that? Um, they're saying listing clothes sucks. Like shirts, like t-shirts and button-up shirts are I can knock out 50 listings of those in a day. Um, but I struggle with some hard goods, believe it or not. It's the whole get it home from the garage sale, let's clean it up, prep it. If it's electronic, sit down and test it out. And it's like, oh, I don't know what it is about that process that drives me up a tree. Um, in fact, I listed a DVD VCR combo yesterday that I had had for like it's a Sanyo with the remote, and I finally hooked it up and tested it after about 3 months. Oh no, we did some women's clothing for like the first 3 or 4 months, and we have pretty much left the women's clothing thing behind. Um, the clothing market is so saturated right now, and I had went on a rant the other day. One of the large YouTube channels um, said something the other day about lowering clothing prices, and you'll start selling. And I was like, wow, if I had that much influence, I'd probably go out and I'd say, listen, ask the price you want to ask for your what you feel the item is worth. And I understand you got to be in comps to a point, but with clothing, there's sort of a race to the bottom going on right now. And if you got so many subscribers, I always wonder. To a point, resellers control the market. If everybody would quit lowering prices, everything would like level out, and or even go back up. You know, doing the item specifics on clothing is what's killer, especially women's clothes styles suck. I just can't get enough money for women's clothes, to be honest with you. Um, we've tried to like. I'm trying to only get men's extra large clothing and up, um, and that's it. I, I, you just like you can charge a buck or two more on a lot of bigger, but my sell through is much lower. For example, if I sell for every, let's say, 75 items I sell on eBay in a month, I'll sell about 5 to 10 on Poshmark, maybe. But instead of making a $9 profit like I do on eBay, I'll make 12, 13, $14 on Poshmark for the same item, and in some cases, even more than that. Our very first sale on Poshmark was a North Face. It was called a high vent raincoat, and it had been on eBay for like 6 weeks, and I'd lowered the price down to like 49 bucks on eBay. This coat was really and truly worth like 60 to $80, and I just couldn't move it. And I was like, I've had this Poshmark account for quite some time. Maybe I'll give it a shot. So I put that coat on there, and somebody on Poshmark bought it in 2 hours, and they paid 70 bucks for it. So, and to this day, that is, as far as clothing goes, that is our largest clothing sale. I've had a couple that's gotten really, really close to that $70 mark, but that's still been our biggest, by a few dollars, our biggest clothing flip. Poshmark is an easy list, though. You're right. You're right. Somebody popped in, another person, and like I said, I kind of jumped on here. This is the first time I've tried a live stream. I wanted to kind of test it out. but I have been wanting to do a live stream, and I switched up laptops, and it seems to actually be somewhat working. Um, it's not my good camera, but um, oh, hey Andy, how are you, man? Parrot Head Pickers in the house. Yeah. Did you get out garage selling this weekend, or is it still too cold up there? Andy's up in Illinois. He's probably trying to thaw out. And Andy, Ben flipping hard goods told me there was a little bit of a lag, so I don't know how bad it is. I'm kind of testing this out and seeing how it works. But YouTube's got a new webcam feature on here that I think they originally used to have one, but uh 7 inches of snow Saturday. So I guess I reckon garage selling's not taking off yet. Sorry, I'm balancing the laptop. Uh, yeah, 7 inches of snow would pretty much shut us down. Like we got 4 inches. Well, we got 4 inches, and it did not get above freezing for a week here, and that pretty much caused like a minor disaster. I mean, there were somebody said somewhere in the neighborhood of 5,000 wrecks, just within about a 2 hour radius of us. So we Texans don't handle snow very well, Andy. I can tell you that right now. Got a couple of hats, a Billy Club, a Nintendo DS with the game. Wow, for a buck a piece. I uh I was just saying a minute ago, I finally got a Sanyo VCR DVD combo listed yesterday, and I had been sitting on that thing for a while. And the only thing I had to test it with was I had a that was part of my actual collection. I had a an Indiana Jones special edition VHS set and a Star Wars special edition VHS set. So I had to use those to test the VCR part out. I didn't have anything else to test the VCR with. Yep, yep. Mine had the manual and the remote, and I almost actually broke them up because the remote's worth $20, and the VCR combo. I mean, it's worth. I put it up for 60. I could have probably put it up for like 80 to 100 and just set on it, but I was like, I. I mean, I paid $7 for it, so I'm like, if I can get 60 plus shipping, I'm good with that. Goodbye, get out of here. And it worked fine. So, um, are you? So you're still just hitting thrift stores right now? Hard goods FBA, but because yeah, gosh, FBA. Um, I've only put one thing on there, and it was a bad pick. It was a sealed Harry Potter audiobook, but it was on cassette. Uh, and I could not get rid of it on eBay, so I put it on Amazon merch, and it sold sure enough in like 3 days. But I think I ended up making a buck off of it. It was an awful pick. I mean, I should have paid like not more than 50 cents for it, and it was like a year ago, right after we started. I think I gave $3 for it. So Andy said that he actually has a remote and a manual for to sell off separate too. And that's a good question, Andy. I have been wondering why. I'd like to do more Amazon, and I know there's a lot of sellers out there that do that I watch. And then there's like another set of sellers, and they don't really mess with FBA. And I've always wondered, is it because of the returns? Is it because of the gating that Amazon does? Um, and 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 if you don't want to send it off, why not do the merch side then? I guess is a good question. Because I mean I find sealed stuff all the time, and actually my sealed stuff sets on eBay too. It's my longest long tail stuff usually. Returns, they return everything. Yikes. Well, that's a problem then. Ben Flipping Hard Goods says nowadays most categories are gated unless you've been selling in the past. Andy says I did merch for Phil, sold a little bit, went to FBA, sold like hotcakes. Yikes. My thing was I really want to sell toys on there in the fourth quarter. I mean, that's like where my experience is from when I started eBay. I'm a and if you've seen my channel, I'm a huge Star Wars fan. And I actually used to um I haven't said this before. I used to run a website that had about 300,000 visitors a month, and it was a horror website. Well, I talk a lot of Star Wars on that website too. And I thought, well, I got this channel, I might as well talk Star Wars. But anyway, long story short, when I started selling on eBay back in the late '90s and early 2000s, it was doing Star Wars, Transformers, and GI Joes. And I would like to be able to sell toys. It would be good. I'd have a real interest in that. Andy, have you sold any used electronics on there? Now they gate everything. All I have left on Amazon is books. God, that does sound like a headache. Um, either you been flipping hard goods. You do Macari. Been flipping hard goods mentioned Macari earlier, and I've got an account, and now you can list from your PC on Macari, which was what was kind of holding me back. I am a little paranoid of double selling an item. So I think the Amazon return rate was 30%. Yikes. That's insane. God. I may have to think long and hard about that then. I hate that. But the volume is over there. That's, the volume is definitely on Amazon. I mean, I knew as soon as I sent that in, and actually, it was sort of a nightmare because um, I didn't send it in. I did merch for Phil on it, and we've got um, Amazon Echo, Alexa, and they would send me emails about her all the time. Plus, we've got a Prime membership. Well, lost in the emails was this sale that we got, it popped in, and I mean, I get like 3 or 4 emails from Amazon a day anyway. So sometimes Yahoo splits them and sends some off to spam. And our first Amazon sale got sent to spam. And I was sitting around about 5:30 one morning, and an email came in and it says, "Have you shipped blah blah blah?" And I'm looking at it on my phone, and I said, "That seems a little different." So I opened it up, and sure enough, that Harry Potter audiobook had sold like 4 days earlier, and we hadn't shipped it yet. So I was like, holy crap. So I went in, mad scramble, woke up Debbie. I was like, I got to ship this out. Even though there was 3 hours before the post office opened, I was just like, man. Amazon has double the buyers than eBay. Don't get me wrong. Items sell and sell quick versus eBay, but the return because you can return for any reason. No, Andy, that's my concern with eBay right now. And I'm going to tell you, I kind of like this live stream because I can sort of talk about life too. I worked for 12 years in the corporate world before we started our cleaning business 8 years ago. I was an operations manager for Alltel Communications and a couple of other companies. But Alltel was one of the biggest cell providers in the South. Well, they used the same network that Verizon uses. Okay. And I had said this in somebody's live chat they were doing in the chat one day. Well, Verizon has since bought out Alltel. But I'll tell you what happened for about 2 years before they bought them out. Alltel's policies started changing, and they got closer and closer to Verizon's policies. And nobody knew it. And then we walked in one day and it was like, hey, Verizon bought us out. And it was like, oh. So I wonder how some of your cleaning supplies would do on Amazon. Just I don't know. Um, we don't really use anything out of the ordinary. I've actually bought cleaning supplies on Amazon. Um, the only thing that I am in fact looking at ordering a new vacuum. Amazon sells commercial vacs on there now. They sell everything, officially everything. Um, by the way, if you ever need a good hard surface vacuum, an Oric is like the one you want, especially if you have pets. No, no, yeah, there's some wholesale guys around here, but your people like Mary Maids are really going to be the ones that use somebody like that. And Mary Maids charges, and you're not going to believe this when I say it. They charge about $300 per every 2,400 square foot of cleaning. And that's reoccurring prices. So, yeah, and that's our competition. We're at one point, Debbie and I had the second largest cleaning uh, business in about an hour and a half radius, and we were making some really good money. Um, and then I made the wrong hire, I hired the wrong person, and they didn't do anything wrong. Uh, they just didn't look right to a lot of customers here in Texas, and we lost a bunch of clients, and we've never really recovered from that. But Mary Maids, yeah, we charge on 2,400 square foot, we get about 120 uh, on a cleaning. Mary Maids gets about 300. And honestly, Andy, he wasn't a bad egg. He was a hell of a good worker. Luckily, he was a friend of mine, and he kind of saw what was happening, and he bailed. He said, "I've got to go, or you're going to go out of business." But like I said, they didn't like the look of him, and again, I'm in Texas, so yeah, exactly. Oh, he was a great worker. He worked for me when I was an operations manager. He was one of our trainers um, in the corporate world. He ran my classrooms. When people got hired, they got sent through class for product training, and he was a trainer. Great worker. I'd worked with him for like 15 years, and I was glad to have him until oh crap, I almost went out of business, and it wasn't his fault. Um, so anyway, well, hey Andy, I'm gonna wrap this up. It was good to talk to you. I wanted to come on here and see if this live stream thing would work. I wanted to bump in with Shane the other day because I've got some vintage stuff I wanted to show off. I've got a Dallas Cowboys shirt that if it was in your size, I'd have sent it to you. I think you're like me. You're what, about a 2X? It's uh it's a Dallas Cowboys 1993 back-to-back Super Bowl shirt by Jerseys, and it looks like it has never been worn. And I mean, it's an awesome shirt, but it's only a large. I was like, yeah, I don't. I think Andy's like me. I don't think he can wear that. Yeah, yeah, that's it. That's it. I wish it was worth more. It's only worth about $20, but for a Cowboys fan, I mean, it would be a really cool piece to like, um, put in a frame or something. And at the same time, we grabbed a triplet shirt with Emmett and Troy and Michael Irvin on there, and that thing sold like immediately. I mean, it was gone. I listed it, and like within about 3 days, it was gone. It was a cool shirt too. All right, man. I appreciate y'all checking in, and I'll see you on the. I'll catch you on the reseller six pack tonight. Y'all have a good one. Thanks.